This is the OUPES Mega 3 3600 watt, 3072 watt hour portable power station. And this big old thing arrived safely. Let me show you real quick. Super sturdy packaging. And no joke here, they surrounded this thing with about 2.5, 3 inches of styrofoam on either side of this thing. So really packaged well. Look at that. It is about 25 inches long, 12 inches across, and 17 inches high. And it weighs in at about 83 pounds. Very heavy duty unit. This was sent to me for evaluation purposes, but all opinions are going to be my own. And what you get inside of here is the set of instructions, which is a pretty well-written set of instructions. Sometimes they're hit or miss, but this is a good one. It's got all kinds of useful information regarding this. Instructions on how to charge it different ways, like if you're using solar panels or the car. You get about a 4-foot heavy-duty grounded power cable. It is a unique power cable, as you can see right here. It's not something you're going to be able to interchange with something else unless you have this type of plug on there. You get about a 4-foot car charging cable. Obviously, you're going to have your car running if you're charging up something like this. It has an Anderson plug on one end, which I'll show you on the side, and the car plug. You get about a 2-foot Anderson to solar panel charging cable. And if you use the OUPES unit, you can use up to 6 panels. You can daisy chain them through. And about a 4-foot Anderson to Anderson cable. You power it on right here. Press and hold the power button, and you've got a really nice LCD display on here that tells you everything that's going on. It arrived at about 65% charge, so I charged it up to 100. This unit has a huge inverter on it with a 7,000 watt surge, 3,500 plus life cycles, and it's big enough to power large load devices like coffee machines, electric tea kettles, refrigerators, hair dryers, air conditioners, RVs, and so on. Now, obviously, the more wattage you're trying to pull out of here, the less time it's going to last. So you're going to want to plan out exactly what kind of load you're going to put on this so that when the time comes to use it, you're going to be able to get the most out of it. One of the cool features about this is you're able to turn each section off and on individually via buttons on here. For instance, you've got the IoT button right here. If you press that, you can see these lights flashing over here to let you know that it's ready to connect to Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. We've got the DC section right here. You got your car charger style DC output, and you've got your two 5521 DC output ports. It tells us that we have 99 hours of life left in this. And if we were using something and pulling wattage out here, it would tell us how many watts we're pulling out here. The old 7-amp Black & Decker corded drill. Let's see what happens. Well, that's kind of cool. I see it had a little surge when it started out, then it leveled out, and then it was telling me that if I kept going at that speed, I could do it for 7 hours. So that's pretty good. So when I activate the other DC section right here, you can see USB-A and USB-C light up along with the other information, how many hours we've got left and so forth. But we can see we've got an Anderson plug here. We've got 2 100-watt Type-C outputs. We have a 5-volt 2-amp USB and 3 USB 3.0 outlets. If we go into the AC section here, you can see we've got 5 20-amp outlets. And we've got 1 large 30-amp output here for hooking up the big plugs. What I think is cool about this is it can function as a battery backup unit as well, which is what I'm using it for. You can keep it plugged into the wall, and you can plug your important devices like your computer, monitors, TV for me, etc. And if the power goes out, it automatically switches over to backup power within 20 milliseconds. So that is super fast. It has a pure sine wave inverter on here, which is perfect for electrical devices. And this unit can even be integrated with home circuits, assuming that you have a transfer kit and so forth. Now let's take a look at the charging panel on the side here. It has a couple of covers, which are really cool. And these covers snap on there and they stay on there really good. That's great for keeping dust and all that stuff out. So if you're charging this from a wall outlet, you're going to want to make sure you have an outlet that is 16 amps or higher if you're using the fast charge on it. And it'll fully charge in about 2 hours. When it fast charges, it obviously pulls a lot more wattage than when it slow charges. So there is actually a feature that you can use in the instructions and change it to a slow charge. So you won't have as much of a draw on the outlet that you're using if that's something you need to do. Right here, we've got the Anderson plug charging input if you're using solar panels. They say that a 2100 watt solar power source will charge it in about 2.5 hours. Obviously, different panels are going to have different wattages and the sun is involved. So that's going to vary depending on the conditions. Another cool thing is you can charge it via solar panel and AC power at the same time. You got a couple of breakers on here, an AC in and an AC out breaker. So if it gets overloaded, it'll shut the breaker down for you, which I think is pretty awesome. On this bottom panel here, you can see that it is expandable. You can actually add the OUPES B2 battery to it and expand its capacity from 3.7 kilowatt hours to 15.36 kilowatt hours. Stack them up on top of here. You can flip it up on its side right here, and it has a handle on here that retracts, and you can wheel this thing around. That, to me, is a massively cool feature. Like I said before, too, it has its own smart app that comes with it. You can get it right here in the instructions via this QR code. And there's also a QR code right here underneath of the handle. You can connect to it via Wi-Fi or Bluetooth so that you can monitor like the real-time status of the power station, the battery level, the estimated running time, input, output, wattages. And you can customize some settings in there according to your needs. So this power station would obviously be great for power outages. I'm on the East Coast. We get a lot of hurricanes every year, and we get the power knocked out for not a massive amount of time, but enough to where it's annoying. And this will carry me through that. I'll be able to use this as a battery backup and keep my computer plugged in and my TV. And obviously, this would be great for camping. You can plug all your camping accessories into here. You could plug into a shore power outlet, run an RV. It's just an all-around great device to have in the event of an emergency. You know, maybe you need to power a refrigerator, medical equipment, that kind of stuff. For me, it's an awesome battery backup, and I love it.